You know, I could see this model having a really nice place within the iron universe in terms of that player who can appreciate head shape but is looking for some technology in the 4 through 7 iron. Within the player's distance category, there's almost two categories inside that. Models that aren't quite game improvement looking, but they still are pretty large size head, maybe a little bit less offset than traditional game improvement spec. And then there's really what we were going after with the Mizuno Pro 243, where you have the distance technology. The lofts are a little bit stronger, but not super strong. There's COR there, lower and deeper center of gravity on the 4 through 7 iron to help with launch. So we've definitely enhanced the distance, but we didn't let the head get overly large. And as a matter of fact, in this case, going from the previous model to the Mizuno Pro 243, we actually made the head more compact. We made the top line a little bit thinner, thinned out the sole a little bit by using the wraparound grind. So I would say what we're trending towards within the Mizuno Pro family, specifically the 243, is in terms of head size and shape, let's make it more players. And then at the same time, which is difficult, simultaneously enhance the performance in terms of launch and ball speed and distance. In order to achieve the performance enhancements that we were looking for, it was actually a challenge. Under the current set of rules that we had for forging, we were limited a little bit in how thin we could go on the face. But our engineers, working with our partners at Chuyo Kogyo, they figured out a way that they could go even thinner than the previous model, about 0.2 millimeters thinner. What that was able to do, in combination with actually having a wider micro slot, more rebound area, thinner face, more rebound overall, we're able to increase the COR of the head, so we're increasing ball speed. This is actually the thinnest we've gone on the face in terms of full body forging. And how we're able to do it, first of all, is the material that we chose is a chromoly 4120, which is an extremely strong material. But also our engineers every year are advancing their CAE analysis, so they know the limitations of the material and they can simulate how thin they can go before it crosses over a threshold in terms of stress. So even before we even cut a mold, we can understand like what is the limit of this material, and then we can work with our partners at Chuyo Kogyo to figure out how to get it down to that thickness that we think is as far as we can go without having any stress issues. Another process within the precision forging stage for the chromoly models is what's called spray quenching. So after the hydraulic mold hits it and squeezes it and moves back up, then there's actually a spray quench to cool down the face part very quickly and kind of lock in the grain structure and lock in that strength of the face. But we're selectively cooling the face and not cooling the hosel, so that the hosel keeps some level of malleability for bending while getting the strength requirement we need for the very thin face. It's almost like the 4 through 7 iron get all the talking points within this set, but the 4 through 7 iron are the chromoly material with the thinner face, the COR, but you also have this 8 through gap wedge that are really nice 1025 mild carbon steel, proper players shallow cavities that marry up with the 4 through 7 iron, and making that really nice transition from the 7 iron to the 8 iron through how we do the microslot technology. Basically, the microslot technology on the 4 and 5 iron are going to give you the thinnest face and the widest rebound area. And then as you get to the 6 and 7 iron, that face gets a little bit thicker and the rebound area gets a little bit smaller as you transition to the 8 through gap wedge. I'm excited about potential adoption of the Mizuno Pro 243 at the tour level. I think some of the enhancements that we made in this cycle, very much trying to push it that way in terms of head shape and size, top line, thinner top line, more compact profile at address. Did some work on the sole to improve the turf interaction throughout the set, very consistent. I do think that this has a tour application, definitely. That's kind of the way we're pushing it. Like we're pushing to increase the performance, but at the same time having very much a player's profile at address.